Welcome back to Jasmine Fields Speaks. I am Jasmine Fields. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about 5 things I believe new moms need after delivery. We spend tons of time preparing for new baby, but little time is spent preparing new moms for what they will need after delivery. As many of you know, Moses and I have a little girl, Miss Lillian, and we're expecting our second little girl in the next few weeks. When we were pregnant with Lily, we spent a lot of time taking baby classes. There was tons of information in those baby classes, and I really enjoyed them. They helped us prepare and feel confident about bringing a new baby into the world. However, throughout those baby classes, there was still information that I didn't know that I wish I did. Not knowing that information definitely caused my new little family to have to take a detour to the mall on the way home from the hospital. And to be honest, a little more pain. So the first item I believe new moms need after delivery is a girdle. Now I'm going to give you a disclaimer, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I tell all of my personal injury clients. I'm a lawyer, not a doctor. So do take my medical opinions or medical diagnoses with a grain of salt. As you know, during pregnancy, many of your organs have to move around in order to make room for baby. In addition to that, you lose a lot of your abdominal strength. However, after delivery, your abs actually need a little bit of support in order to hold in your organs and allow things to settle back into the right places. While you're in the hospital, most likely they're going to give you what they call a binder. A binder is just an elastic band, sometimes a Velcro, that they put around your waist in order to give your abdominal muscles some support. Now, of course, you pay for everything that is in your hospital room. So I definitely recommend that you go ahead and take your binder home with you. But in reality, the binder that was given to me in the hospital was probably meant for only short-term use. And as a result, I recommend getting a girdle. Now, I actually purchased a neoprene waist trainer from Amazon. Now, I do want to make sure that I am giving you actual storefronts that you can go into as opposed to everything online, as we do need to support our local businesses. But this particular item, I purchased it on Amazon. There are tons of varieties of girdles on Amazon that you can choose from. Although you're going to lose several pounds while you're in the hospital, you may still look pregnant. I did purchase multiple waist trainers in multiple sizes. Now, of course, this isn't an exact science because women lose their baby weight at different rates. But for me, I needed a waist trainer that was at least 2 sizes larger than what my pre-baby size was. Again, not an exact science. You may not want to open your waist trainers right away until you know which one is going to fit. And of course, you're obviously going to want to purchase them right before delivery. Now, I'm a breastfeeding mom, so I purchased a waist trainer that actually sits below the bust line. That allowed me to continue nursing uninterrupted by my waist trainer. I purchased my waist trainer on Amazon. It was about $20. I will put a link to the waist trainer that I purchased in the comments below, but the one that I chose actually has 3 hooks, which I really liked, and a zipper. So the 3 hooks obviously gave you some room to adjust even after you started losing some of your baby weight. That way you could get more sizes out of one waist trainer. In addition to that, I like the ones that have a zipper. The zipper is important because it allows it to sit smoothly under your clothing. Now, moms who are not breastfeeding, I am not as familiar with this, but I would recommend getting a waist trainer or a girdle that actually covers the breast area. My understanding of lactation is that by applying pressure to the breast, it limits your milk production. Research that because obviously not a lactation consultant. Another little tip is I would get a waist trainer that can double for your workouts. If you're a person that's going to be returning to the gym at your 6 or 8 week mark, there's no point in buying multiple waist trainers and not also being able to use them when you head back to the gym. So that's item number 1, a waist trainer or a girdle. The second thing that you're going to want to have after delivery is your medication list and the timeline in which you're supposed to take that medicine. Now, my birth plan definitely called for a vaginal delivery. However, after several days of contractions and my water breaking, I ended up having to have a C-section. Now, I do believe this tip is going to apply to both vaginal deliverers and C-section deliverables, but C-section mommies, you're definitely going to want to pay really close attention to this tip. So you're going to want to pay attention to 3 things. You're going to want to know what you're taking, how much you're taking, and how often you're taking it. Most likely the hospital is going to give you a prescription for the hard stuff, but they actually don't write down or tell you exactly what the over-the-counter medicine is that you will also need to be taking. You're definitely going to want to write down exactly what you're taking, when you're taking it, and what the rotation is so that you can continue that regimen when you get home and also make a plan for how you're going to taper off. C-section moms, this information is going to be really important to you because you did just have major surgery. Oh goodness, my husband's going to be really happy that I just admitted that. But let's just be honest, it still does not make it easier for you to sit down after you've had a new baby. Needless to say, I didn't do that. I attempted to take just the prescriptions that were provided to me when I left the hospital, and I just couldn't figure out why I was in so much discomfort. After a while, I remembered, or maybe my mom and my husband reminded me, that I was taking multiple over-the-counter medications in addition to the prescriptions. So item number 2 is to write down your medication list and the timeline in which you're taking it. Item number 3 is going to be C-section panties. All right, I know we had a wardrobe change. I apologize, but I had an error with our recording, and so I am re-recording on a different day. Item number 3, which is C-section panties. Item number 3 is going to be C-section panties. Let me start out by saying I do believe in birth plans. I had a birth plan with Lillian. I also have a birth plan for this little one. However, with Lily, after 4 days of contractions and my water breaking, walking up and down the hallways, we just couldn't get to the point where we could vaginally deliver. And so, although I had a birth plan that consisted of a vaginal delivery, I ended up having to have a C-section. It's actually this item that caused me and my new little family to have to go to the mall on the way home from the hospital. I believe that you should have a couple of pair of C-section panties on standby just in case you end up having to have a C-section unexpectedly. C-section panties are essentially high-waisted underwear. They are made out of mostly elastic or spandex. They are usually very soft materials, and they generally have no seams. It's the seamless part of C-section panties that actually make them C-section panties. Your incision is usually going to be along your bikini line. You will often have stitches there or a liquid bandage or tape. That area can definitely be irritated by our normal underwear, which have seams and elastic bands and things of that nature right on the same place that your incision will be. Item number 4 is a breast pump. So I think this one is going to mainly apply to breastfeeding moms, but I do think that moms who are not planning on breastfeeding may also need some type of breast pump item in order to make sure that they don't end up too engorged as they're waiting on their milk supply to dry up. I realized I was very blessed as I didn't have any issues with production or latching the first time around, and prayfully I don't experience any issues the second time around either. Different hospitals have different designations. The hospital that Lily was born in was designated as a baby-friendly hospital. I know baby friendly is a weird name. Hopefully all hospitals that your baby are born in are baby friendly. What that means is that it is a hospital that promotes solely breastfeeding. So as Moses and I took all of those baby classes before Lily was born, we took more than one class on the importance and how to breastfeed. However, with the baby-friendly designation, the instructors were not allowed to talk about pumping at all. As a result, I didn't really know what I was doing, when to pump, or how to pump, and I probably hindered my supply just a bit. I already had my breast pump in and I did take it to the hospital, but luckily I had an amazing nurse post-delivery who Googled the instructions for my breast pump and gave me a quick tutorial on how to use it. Eventually I did figure it out, thank goodness, for reasons that I'll explain in a different video. I was able to build up hundreds of ounces of a freezer stash. My freezer stash probably would have been a lot larger had I known what I was doing with my pump from the beginning. I use a routine called Eat, Play, Sleep with Lily that I will shoot another video on later, but that's what gave me the peace of mind on when I can pump. One reason I think that having a breast pump is going to be important to non-nursing moms is because you're still going to want to prevent engorgement. Engorgement, from my understanding, is very painful. Obviously, you're not going to want to express too much milk because the more you express, the more you produce, but expressing a little bit to take the edge off and to make sure that you're not in pain is probably going to be a good idea. Obviously, you're not going to want to buy a hospital grade breast pump or an expensive electric breast pump, but a manual breast pump would probably still be something that I would recommend. Side note, so with baby number 2, I'm going to add an additional tool to my breastfeeding supplies. What I learned from breastfeeding Lily is that the letdown response when Lily is breastfeeding on one side also triggers the opposite breast as well. What that means is that you're actually losing some of your milk to your nursing pads. So I'll be adding a haka to my breastfeeding supplies. This actually acts as a milk catcher so that as the baby is nursing on one side, the haka can catch the extra milk from the letdown response on the opposite side. As milk supplies and freezer stashes are very important, especially if you're going to be returning back to work after the baby is born. This may be a cheap option for moms who are not nursing, as I think I found one of these at the cheapest, about $9. So item number 4 is going to be a breast pump. Last item is going to be for breastfeeding moms. Item number 5 are nursing garments. If you've elected to breastfeed, you're going to be spending tons of time actually nursing. Before Lily was 1, I had already logged over 9 days of nursing, and that didn't even include the time that I spent pumping. So at the very least, you're going to want at least a nursing bra, but nursing garments do come in handy. 3 reasons why nursing garments come in handy, especially nursing bras, is because it saves you time. It's not as much hassle as taking on and off your garments, and it definitely limits your risk of exposure. Nursing bras can be found at some Walmarts, Target, Kohl's, the Motherhood store, and of course, Amazon. Now, nursing tops are a little bit more difficult to find. For the most part, I was able to find nursing tank tops and one sweater that I liked. Now, if you're a nursing professional like I am, you can't just wear tank tops every day to work. If you're nursing for a couple of days or maybe even more than a year, or even as an attorney, I didn't have enough blazers to partner with my nursing tank tops. I returned back to work after 12 weeks, and what I had just wasn't enough. I was eventually inspired to create My Life Clothing. This is a professional clothing line for nursing moms. My life isn't just about my kids and it's not just about my career. And so I wanted to have a clothing line that merged both my lives together. So the first item in my life clothing is going to be a sheath dress. Every professional woman, whether you're a doctor, an attorney, a real estate agent, will need a sheath dress. And what makes it better is the fact that you can also nurse in it. You can expect the first item from My Life Clothing to be available for pre-order by the end of the year. I'll put a link in the description below so that you can learn more about My Life Clothing and follow each item as they're released. So those are 5 things that moms need after delivery. In the comments below, let me know if you have any questions on the items I shared. And of course, don't be afraid to share any items you believe new moms should have after delivery. Thank you for stopping by Jasmine Fields Speaks. Please subscribe to the channel to get more life hacks on how to make your life easier, healthier, wealthier, and happier. If you saw something that you liked in this video, please share it with friends. And of course, hit that like button. If you're on Instagram, follow me at the handle Mrs_J_Fields. This was another video from Jasmine Fields Speaks. I am Jasmine Fields, and I'll catch you on the next one.